between Kazakhstan and the Philippines. With qualification for the Philippines on the line, games really don't come much bigger than this one. We are set for a huge 40 minutes of international basketball action here today. These are the last qualification games for all these teams. And as you can see, all of the games are tipping off at the same time. So makes it a little bit complicated, but we will try our best to keep you up to date with who's currently sitting in qualification spots and what they need to do to book their tickets to the biggest basketball show on the planet, the World Cup Finals in China later this year. As you can see, Australia, they're already qualified, but Japan, Iran and the Philippines are fighting it out, not just for the last two automatic qualification spots, but potentially to also be the fourth best placed team in the Asia qualifiers as well. As I say, the stakes don't get much higher than this game here. And it's all part of the new qualification structure for the World Cup. It's been a huge success, and fans across the world have flocked to the games. And we're just listening now to the Filipino team being introduced, and they've had a mixed qualification campaign. It started out so well, obviously went off the rails after that night to forget against the Australians. But they do have a chance to make amends today. A win will, at worst, give them a chance of being the fourth best team in Asia. If other results go their way, they could actually earn an automatic qualification spot. But I will try to keep you up to date as things progress across the Asia qualifiers. The home team are now being introduced. And Kazakhstan started qualification well, but they've struggled somewhat in the second phase, and it's cost them their opportunity to play in the finals in China. That said, even though they can't progress, I'm sure they'd love to finish their qualification campaign with a win, and that would give them some confidence to take into future qualification games as well. So for the Philippines to qualify, the easiest way is for them to win here today, but they also need Japan to lose to Qatar. If that doesn't happen, they're likely to finish in fourth place, and that's when it becomes messy and they rely on the results of games from other groups as well. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out, but we will bring you up to date throughout the game on exactly how qualification is going. But as usual, before the start of the game, we will have the national anthems for both countries. First will be the national anthem for the Philippines, followed by the national anthem for Kazakhstan. Wonderful renditions there of both national anthems, and the players will exchange gifts at the half-court line in tradition with international basketball, the coaches as well. And both teams will now start their final mental preparations for this game, making sure they're completely ready to play. Qualification may not be on the line for Kazakhstan, but that is not going to reduce the level of play that they put onto the hardwood today. They absolutely will want the win. Here are our officials for today's game: Zhu Duan, Nanyi, and Kyunyin Park from China and Korea, respectively. Now we're making sure everything's above board in what is a huge game for the Filipino team. And here is the Philippines roster for you. And it's tough to look past Andre Blatch. He was on fire on Thursday against Qatar, posting a 17-point, 15 rebound and 7 assist performance, throwing a couple of blocks and a couple of steals to that as well. And here's your starting five for the Philippines. It's Blatch, Lassiter, Baroka, Rosario and Norwood. A strong starting five for the Philippines, and they'll want to get out to a better start than they did on Thursday. And it's down to Kazakhstan to stop them. They have 6 players who have played in all of the qualifiers, and this consistency has really enabled them to develop a bit of a strong team identity. One new face, though, who has impressed is that of Clemens. He scored a staggering 31 points against Australia on Thursday. Let's see if the Philippines can stop him. Mazgaliev, Yagali, Zagulin, Baikov and Clemens will be the starting 5 for Kazakhstan. And we're in some interesting matchups throughout the 5s for both teams. And Coach Giao didn't have the best of times on Thursday, ended up getting himself ejected from the game with 2 technical fouls late on. He'll hope he gets to see the full 40 minutes, and I imagine he hopes to see his team qualify for the World Cup finals as well. What a prize that is for him and his players. Kazakhstan coach Kyrilenokis, one of the younger coaches on international basketball, just 29 years old, a Lithuanian, in charge of Kazakhstan's international future at the moment, and how he'd love to get a win chalked up against him against the Philippines today. And final preparations on the bench now, just making sure and the Kazakhstani coach there just getting across final preparations for his team. Very calm.
But faster, guys, make everything faster. Fast, don't need the screen. Keep, Rus, you now as a free, doesn't matter. Set a screen, curl, watch this. Hand off, pick, set a screen. Set a screen, okay, roll, and then attack. And if you can the shot shoot. Sasha, corner, okay? Guys.
Really dealing with the finer details on the Kazakhstani bench there. Straight away, going to the X's and O's, drawing the offense out for his team to execute. We're just moments away from the opening tip, and with that in mind, good time for you guys to go and download the official FIBA World Cup app. It's available on iOS and Android, so get your phone or your tablet and download it now. It'll bring you all the latest news and views and highlight videos from across these qualifiers across the world. And there's plenty of highlights to enjoy. And I have a feeling we're going to get a few more from this game here today as well. Blatch will face off against Mazgaliev for the opening tip. Just final changes and we're ready to go. Here we go. The start of the FIBA World Cup qualifier between Kazakhstan and the Philippines. And the opening play is going to be Andre Blach, not just winning the tip, but winning it so well that he's knocked it out of bounds off his own baseline. And Kazakhstan will drop into a real opportunity straight away. Ball is inbounded long. Nice little step to the side, uses a screen well and drains the shot. Wonderful start for Kazakhstan. Mirzagaliev there with the three. And the Philippines started slow on Thursday as well. They'll not want to repeat that. Blach looking to back his way to the basket. A little shake and a fadeaway is no good. They'll come back the other way. Hand off to Clemens, inside. Good defense by Blach is enough to put the shot off. Baroka to Blach, Blach for three, in and out. And this over-reliance on Blach in the early stages of their previous game didn't work out well. Let's see if they've learned from that though, as Lassiter steals the ball away. Blach now. Hands it off to Baroka, waits for the screen, uses it well, pulls a trigger on a long two. But the Philippines are yet to score. Over a minute gone in the game. Mirzagaliev now turns the corner. Looks to feed the post and does so to Zhigulin. Zhigulin, oh, nice spin inside, uses his body well. And he's picked up the foul. He's drawn the foul and he's going to head to the line for two shots. Good free throw shooter as well, the big man. 82% from the line in the qualifiers up to today's game. Not the kind of player you want to be sending to the line if you're the Philippines. Good with the first. Back at the line for the second. Gets the roll on the second, and Kazakhstan are out to an early 5-point lead with 90 seconds gone in the game. Philippines a little bit slow out of the blocks. Baroka comes back to Blach. Blach fakes the three, goes to the wing instead to Lassiter. Lassiter uses the screen, but it's closed down again. Blach fakes a three, little shake, step out. Zhigulin in front of him. Has to fade away as the shot clock expires, and it's no good. It's come off the hand of Rosario, though, so it's going to be a Kazakhstani ball. Nope. Correction of the call. Good teamwork there from the officials, helping each other out. So it's going to be a Kazakhstani ball on the baseline. 14 seconds reinstated onto the shot clock. Ball goes long to Blach. Blach shoots the three and hits the three. He had back-to-back threes just after the half-time break in their last game. Zhigulin now, waiting for Clemens. Offensive foul is going to be called. That one's, I think, on Yergeli. Moving screen, and that's first foul of the quarter for Kazakhstan. Rosario now hands it back. Good ball movement. Blach fakes the three, drives inside. Euro steps his way to the basket. It's off target, but he's earned himself a trip to the charity stripe. Two shots to come for Blach. Not the best of free throw shooters, just 56% from the line at the moment. Gets the roll on the iron. Unbelievable game for Blach against Qatar on Thursday. Connects with both free throws, brings the game to a tie. 5 points apiece. 2.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Mirzagaliev now goes to Zhigulin. Back to Mirzagaliev. Screen comes up for him. Pulls the trigger on a three. Rejected by Blatch. Great read by Blatch. Pass inside. Just makes his way through. And already Blatch filling up the box score. He's got himself a block and an assist there. Clemens. Kazakhstan change of direction. Wonderful move to the basket from Clemens. Blatch now again, fakes the three, hands it off to Lassiter. Lassiter, little step back, not enough space for the shot. Blatch for three, hits another one! And the Andre Blatch show starts early today. Philippines out to a 3-point lead now. First lead of the game. Ugali is up short, grabs his own rebound though and is fouled. That one's going to be chalked up to Gabe Norwood. Ugali, as many of the Kazakhstani players do, play for Astana, play for the home city that we're in right now. Ugali. I think there was an issue with the clock that they're going to have to go back and correct. I think the shot clock didn't start running. Just need to clarify that issue and they can get underway again. Plenty of Filipino support in the crowd, as you'd expect. They absolutely packed out the arena in Qatar, and many of them have made the trip here to Kazakhstan as well. They'll never be criticised for not supporting their country fully. I think it is a... I know you see the cheer section in the crowd. Plenty of smiling faces. For their sake, let's hope they're smiling at the end of the game. And the Philippines will have qualified for the World Cup finals if everything goes to plan for them. Remember, ideally, they want Japan to lose to Qatar. That would really help them out. At the moment, Japan lead that one 9-5. Just almost halfway through the first quarter there. As Kazakhstan inbound the ball to Ugali. Ugali, little shake, trying to find a gap to exploit. Can't find it. Nice handoff. Nice double pumps. No good, though. As Gavrilov maybe did a little bit too much. Blatch for three, and another one for Andre Blatch. They've got to lock him down. He's up to 11 points personal already. We've only played 4 minutes. Ugali moves it across now to Mirzagaliev. Clemens goes inside to Gavrilov. Foul's going to be called. Wait to see who that's on. I think it was on Rosario. Kazakhstan will pull up for the mid-range jumper. It's off right from Barshin. Baroka slows it down and hands it to Lassiter. You have a feeling they're going to look to get the ball back in Andre Blatch's hands. Lassiter will shoot the three. Off target with that one, though. He's no Andre Blatch. Barshin drives to the basket, and Rosario is going to get called for the foul. Will be a sideline possession for Kazakhstan. Ball's inbounded, and Kazakhstan trail by 6 after a very bright start. They've struggled to get some offensive options, and Clemens working well there, using his extra strength over Baroka. That will earn him a trip to the line. And Anthony Clemens, just his first qualification window for Kazakhstan. He was only received his citizenship in December. So this has been the first qualification window he's been eligible to play in. You wonder what difference he would have made if he'd been around for the other qualification windows as well. He scored 31 points in his first game against Australia on Thursday. He really is, has a reputation as a bit of a scoring machine. Misses a second, grabs a rebound, shoots the three, nails the three. Big play by Anthony Clemens, and that's exactly what Kazakhstan needed at that point. He's up to 6 points personal, and the Filipino lead is down to 2. Ball comes back out to Blatch, being guarded by Gavrilov. So asking people to clear out. Pulls the trigger on another three. Oh! He is on fire right now. Unbelievable. 4 from 5 in the opening 5.5 minutes. 14 points for Andre Blatch. Yagali now shaping up against Blatch. A steal by Blatch this time. Steps back, shoots the three. Oh! Can you believe it round about now? Blatch is just dominating the game on his own. 17 points in just shy of 6 minutes of action. He has come to play and he is on fire. No real surprise there that Coach Kirili Nokus has called the timeout. It's all going the way of the Philippines at the moment.
He will not win the game. He will not win. Trust me. He will not win. Now, focus, concentration. You have 4 minutes. They have 5 fouls. You have 2 fouls to give. 2 fouls, 4 fouls, okay? Hey! Let's run the horns down. Okay? Let's run the horns down. It's gonna get it on the side. Okay? Side horns. Okay? Don't double drag. Don't double drag.
Pretty clear message from the Kazakhstani coaching team. They've got fouls to give. He's asking them to be a little bit more aggressive with how they're playing defense, and that's the reason why Andre Blatch has absolutely blown them out of the water in this game so far. 17 points, 2 boards, and an assist to his name, and we're not even through 6 minutes of the game yet. 5 from 8 from the field for Andre Blatch as well. Have the Kazakhstan's got a plan to stop him. Clemens now with the ball for Kazakhstan. Barshin hands it back to Yagali. Screen comes up from Gavrilov. Good ball movement here by Kazakhstan, but good defense as well by the Philippines. Not enough, though, to stop Dmitry Gavrilov. The recipient of some good ball movement and a strong team offense there. Lassiter now comes back to Blatch. Lassiter uses a double screen. Skip pass to Norwood. Dangerous pass. Passing across the lane like that. Blatch looking to drive to the basket. Has it knocked away into the hands of Norwood. Rosario will just get the layup in time. Just as the shot clock expires, he gets the points to go. Philippines back up to an 8-point lead. Clemens now. Wait to see who the foul's called on. Let's have a look. That one's going to be called on Rosario. That's going to send Gavrilov to the line for 2 shots. Been part of the international team for 10 years now, Dmitry Gavrilov, 32 years old. One of the veteran players in this roster. Connects with the first of his two. Misses the second though, and the rebound is collected by Blatch. Baroka now hands it back to Blatch. Blatch uses the Aguilar screen. Tries to isolate again though. Lassiter for three. Off short. And Kazakhstan will pick up the rebound. In the hands of Yagali now. To Gavrilov. Into the corner. Mirzagaliev trying to find some space to penetrate. Does. Has to kick it back out though. Oh, it's going to get knocked out of bounds by Baroka. Shot clock down to 7. Seven seconds still to use. Plenty of time to create some offense. Drives inside, gets it to go. Wonderful play by Gavrilov. Patience in the offense. Pays dividends for Kazakhstan in that situation. Castro now. Bogoy comes back out. And Castro is going to travel with it as the shot clock expires. Good defense by Kazakhstan, frustrating the Philippines somewhat. It's quite interesting, isn't it, that they're not gone through Blatch as much. They've given him a rest. Well, they haven't given him a rest yet, but they're probably going to give him a rest soon, you think. Their offense isn't firing at the moment. Let's see what he can do now, though, with the ball. Oh, he can lose it. Off his foot. He's lucky not to have a foot violation called there, and it's stripped away, and Kazakhstan are out in the break. Barshin! Wonderful reverse layup. And this is how Kazakhstan play basketball. It's not always going to be the most glamorous style of basketball, but it's going to get the job done. They're going to hustle, and they're going to be tenacious on both ends. Norwood now. Hands it off to Castro. Castro taking his time. Very stagnant, the Philippines at the moment. Back out to Aguilar, and he's blocked. Oh, Kazakhstan have thrown it away, though. Blatch fakes the three. I think an unsportsmanlike foul is going to be called. That one's going to be called on Mirzagaliev. Pulled the player back, I think. Let's have a look now as the player goes past him. Yep, almost body checks him to try and stop him cutting to the basket. That's going to send Gabe Norwood to the line. 67% free throw shooter in these qualifiers so far. Really a defensive specialist. He's been voted onto the Filipino Defensive Team of the Year no less than 7 times. Can't connect with the first though. And the second is in and out. There'll be a sideline possession for the Philippines, though, off the back of that unsportsmanlike foul from Mirzagaliev. Bogoy now inbounds it to Aguilar. And the Philippines are quite stagnant on the offensive end at the moment. Bogoy, shot clock down to 3. He's going to have to create. They're not going to get it off in time. Castro shoots the ball, but it's after the shot clock's expired. And at the moment, the Philippines' offense is very, very stagnant. There's no real movement. They're not working together as a team on the offensive end. And that is playing into the hands of the Kazakhstan team at the moment. Clemens now hands it back to Kuanov. Back to Clemens. Oh, nice hesitation. Drives himself some space, but can't get it to go. Oh, but Gavrilov. Big rebound and a strong putback. Great body control under pressure. Has the opportunity of the and one play. Clemens should have made that happen, but Gavrilov scoops up the offensive board and secures the foul from Aram as well. Who says that basketball's a non-contact sport? Look at the size of the bruise coming out on Gavrilov's arm, on his shoulder there. Foul. Straight away by Ait Kali. That's his first scratch on the box score. Less than 30 seconds left now in this first quarter. Teams are tied at 21 apiece, and the score does reflect the game. Both teams have had points of control, but no one's dominated. Dallaston now, he takes his first shot, and it's off target. Aguilar picks up the rebound, gives it up to Pagoy. Pagoy's way off target, but the rebound's won by Aram. Castro inside is fouled by Gavrilov. Bit more energy from the Filipino team in that possession. They didn't really wait for things to happen. They were a bit more aggressive, a bit more direct with their style of play. And that's earned them a trip to the line. Castro, a 71% free throw shooter. Had a big game back in December against Iran. 19 points, 5 boards in that one. This is first point of the game, and they're going to fight down for the offensive rebound, and Aram's only able to knock it out of bounds, so it'll be a Kazakhstan ball on the baseline. Yagali now inbounds it. No time on the clock, they get it away! Oh, off the glass, but off target, and that's the end of the first 10 minutes here in Astana. A very, very close matchup we've got, as expected. Kazakhstan 21, Philippines 22. 10 minutes down, 30 minutes to go in what is an absolutely critical game for the Philippines. A 1-point lead after 10 minutes for them. There are your shooting percentages from that first quarter of action. Great shooting from the perimeter from the Philippines. 5 from 10, 50%. That really is off the back of Andre. Welcome back to Astana in Kazakhstan. We're at 10 minutes of the way through this huge World Cup qualifier, and the Philippines hold a 1-point lead, and it's all down to that big man there, Andre Blach. He's got 17 points in just under 9 minutes of action, 5 from 6 from the perimeter, and 3 rebounds to his name as well. A huge first quarter for him. For Kazakhstan, their scoring is being led by big man Dmitry Gavrilov. He's up to 8 points. And Mirzagaliev has already got himself 5 boards, 4 assists and 3 points. So he's working his way towards a triple-double. But here we go, ready for the start of the second quarter in Astana. 10 minutes down, and the Philippines lead this one by 1. Remember, the Philippines qualification still hangs in the balance at the moment, and a win here is almost a must for the Philippines. It's a real outside chance. If they were to lose the game, they would still qualify. So they know they have to come away. They've got to leave the arena with the win in their kit bag. Zhigulin now hands it to Bykov, who goes to the wing, floats inside. It's up short though, and the rebounder hits the deck. Foul is going to be called. Zhigulin with a big rebound, and I think Pagoy is going to get called for the foul. Let's have a look at the replay in the melee. He hits the deck, and yeah, good call, official. I love Pagoy's protest that he had hold of the ball. Yeah, because you climbed over the player to get to it. First foul of the quarter for the Philippines. Comes back to Kuanov now into the hands of Zhigulin. Oh dear, that's a big collision in the air between Bykov and Aguilar. Both of them hustling hard for the rebound. Both tough players. Quite happy to put it on the line for their team. That one's going to be chalked up as a foul against Bykov. Sorry, Zhigulin is going to be chalked with a foul on that one. Dallaston now comes back to Aram. Aram for three. Not found his range with that one. Clemens now for Kazakhstan. Little shake, little hustle, drives inside, draws the foul. Awkward player to defend, Anthony Clemens. A jolty style, change of direction and pace constantly. Really difficult for defenders to anticipate his movements, where he's going to go. Blatch will come back into the game for the Philippines after a couple of minutes of rest. Well-deserved rest as well, really. Huge first half for him. Aram was called for that last foul that sent Clemens to the line. He misses the first of his two shots. It's the second though, and that one ties the game. 9 minutes and 1 second left in this second quarter. Kazakhstan 22, Philippines 22. As expected, this has been a cagey affair. Both these teams are very well suited with each other. Blatch now looking to back his way to the basket. Does so with a lovely little spin move to the base. The glass just opened up for him to use. Clemens now looking for the pass inside and floats a lovely pass into Bykov. Wonderful pass indeed. Absolutely perfect weight on that one. Castro now looking to feed Blatch. Blatch working hard to get position in the low post. Or tries to pass across, almost gets intercepted, but Pagoy holds on to it. Blatch now going up against Zhigulin. Right hand is short this time for Blatch. Kuanov hands it off to Clemens. Elbow jumper from Clemens. A little bit too much weight on that one. Castro now slows it down for the Philippines. Back out to Blatch, open for three, doesn't take it though. Steps his way inside with the finger roll. He's asking for the foul as well. Doesn't get it, but the Philippines take the lead again, and Blatch is up to 21 points already. This could be a international career night for Andre Blatch. Fades away. Yagali can't get the shot to go, but he's earned himself a trip to the line. Shakes his head, knowing that he really could have done with making the shot. So this would have been a bonus for him. Instead, he's going to have to earn his points from the free throw line as Kazakhstan make some changes. Playing personnel. That's the third team foul of the quarter for the Philippines. We're only just over 2.5 minutes through this quarter as well. That could cost them dearly. We could see Kazakhstan making quite a few trips to the free throw line in the next 7.5 minutes. Yagali connects with both, and that ties the game up again. His first points of today's game. Jason Castro now brings it up over the half. Blatch will set him a screen, doesn't use it. Explodes to the baseline. Dallaston hands it back to Castro, back to Dallaston. He's quite happy from that range. Blatch, such a threat today. Into the corner, Castro for three. Beautiful play by the Philippines. They lured the defenders in. The help had to creep in just in case Blatch was going to drive to the basket. Another steal for Blatch. One-on-one, jumps over. Finger roll for Blatch. He is in dominant form here today. Clemens now. Swings the pass back around to Zhigulin, and Dallaston's going to foul him. Philippines now with a 5-point lead. Blatch with 23 points already to his name, and it's not like he's jacking up a huge number of shots. He's shooting 75% for those 23 points. Into the game comes Gavrilov. Barshin now inbounds it to Yagali. Yagali looks to find some space to work inside. The travel's going to be called on Yagali. So it'll be a turnover as Lassiter comes into the game for Dallaston. Dallaston, an influential member of the Filipino roster, really is a superstar player for the Philippines. Lassiter now uses the screen set by Rosario and drains the jumper. Philippines starting to take control of this one. It'll be a concern for Kazakhstan. They're down by 7 now. Clemens uses the Gavrilov screen, and Gavrilov is fouled by Rosario on his way to the bucket. The Philippines are fouling an awful lot today. There's the Lassiter jumper. And it's been a close game so far, but at the moment the Philippines seem to be just starting to wrestle control of the momentum away from Kazakhstan. Gavrilov up to 9 points as well. And connects with the second. Good shooting from the line from Dmitry Gavrilov. Such a critical part of the modern international game, free throw shooting. It really does sort the men from the boys. If you're not shooting a high percentage from the line, you can be a weakness that is exploited by the opposition. Seen it time and time again. Pagoy now inside. Can't get that to drop, and Fajardo is held, so it'll be a baseline ball for the Philippines. Second team foul of the quarter for Kazakhstan. Lassiter now to inbound the ball. He's going to have to go long with it, and a bit of a fight in the air. Blatch catch and shoot. Off target with that attempt, and Barshin pulls down the rebound for Kazakhstan. Yagali's fouled by Blatch. That's his second foul of the game, Andre Blatch. And that might be a tactic for Kazakhstan to go at the big man, try and draw him into some foul trouble. Yagali back to the line for 2 shots. That's the first. And the second. Keeps his perfect record from the line alive here today. Blatch inbounds it to Castro, and the Philippines will look to try and get their lead back out again. It's been cut back to just 3 points now. Fajardo is going to get called for the offensive foul. He really didn't set himself. You see the disappointment on Blatch's face at that play. Barshin inbounds it to Clemens. And a lot is on the shoulders of Clemens. He's either the scorer or the creator. Travelling violation, easy one for the officials to call on Zhigulin there. It wasn't just his shoulders he was shaking, it was his feet as well. Wonderful to see the young fans getting an early taste of international basketball. And that's what these World Cup qualifiers have done. They've enabled fans across the world to see international games played more often. Fajardo, though, is off target, claiming his arm was hit. No call from the officials, though. Clemens almost loses the ball. Recovers it, though. Barshin goes inside. Strong move off the glass from Maedekin, but it's off target. And Blatch comes back the other way. But the foul is going to be called on Zhigulin. Having a battle with Fajardo in the paint. Still a 3-point lead for the Philippines. Just over 4.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Blatch now on the wing, being guarded by Zhigulin. Screen comes up from Fajardo. He's got his isolation he wants. He puts the 3 up. Too much on that one, though. And the hot streak of Blatch has cooled off somewhat. Still do remember he's on 23 points already, though. Step back from Clemens. Lovely play. Stops on a dime. Creates the space for the jumper. He's up to 9 points personal now, and that shaves the Filipino lead down to just a point. Oh, they try to find Blatch on the outside. Instead, it's going to be a 3-on-no-one fast break as Yagali lays it in. And that's going to give Kazakhstan the lead. Ball into the low post now to Fajardo. Backs his way down and draws the foul on Maedekin. Fajardo certainly has an awful lot of experience. He's won the Filipino Championship 6 times. He's been an All-Star 6 times. And he's had some pretty big games in these qualifiers as well. Biggest one, in fact, is the reverse of this game against Kazakhstan back in November. Game day 9, he scored 14 points and pulled down 13 rebounds. So he's enjoyed his time against Kazakhstan. We've had a timeout called to talk things over. It is a close game, so let's jump into these huddles and listen to what the coaching teams have to say. There's the replay of Clemens pulling up on a dime. Look how quickly he comes to a stop, and that's enough to create the space he needs. Certainly an entertaining game for the fans in the crowd here. As we come back, Fajardo will head to the line for shots. And we saw it in their previous game, and we see it here. Plenty of travelling fans for the Philippines. And look at the Kazakhstani coach in the background asking the fans to make more noise when the Philippines are at the line. He wants to get the fans involved with the game. Not a bad plan. Misses both. And appreciative clap from the Kazakhstani coach to the fans behind the team bench. Yagali now comes back to Maidakin. Maidakin comes across to Mirzagaliev. Back to Clemens. Good ball movement here by Kazakhstan. Quite confident. Maidakin now inside and one. Wonderful patient offense from the Kazakhstanis. And that's given the young man a trip to the line to try and convert the three-point play. Wonderful slash to the basket. Dallaston with the body contact. It's going to be called for the foul. Just 21 years old is Askar Maidakin. One of the bright stars of the future for Kazakhstani basketball. Can't convert the free throw though. And Kazakhstan's lead sits at 3 now, with just over 3 minutes to play in this second quarter. Blatch skips it to the corner. Nice ball movement. Dallaston way out for 3. Oh, string music for Dallaston. Wonderful shot, such distance. Difficult to guard a player when he has that much range in his shooting. Clemens for 3. Can he cancel it out? He can. What a quick answer from Anthony Clemens. Kazakhstan back out to a 3-point lead. Foul is going to be called on Maidakin. Off the ball. That will send the Philippines to the line for 2 shots. Fajardo missed both of his attempts last time. Connects with the first. First point of the game for Fajardo. And the second as well. Kazakhstan lead is down to just a point. Maidakin now. Mirzagaliev to Clemens. Again, Kazakhstan moving the ball well, but the Filipino defense is really smothering round about now, and Blatch knocks it out of the hands of Maidakin. So it's going to be a Kazakhstan ball. Baseline ball now for Kazakhstan. Good defense by the Philippines. Oh, wonderful play. Oh, what a tough foul. That's not good looking at all. That was hard hit of the floor. All the pressure and weight on his arm. Wow, what a big play by Barshin. Made a lovely cut along the baseline, and the foul from behind by Blatch. Oh, he lands full on his arm and his shoulder. Wow, they made a tough stuff here in Kazakhstan. Back on his feet and at the free throw line already. I think he must be chiseled out of granite. In and out with the first of his free throw attempts. And Blatch in foul trouble now. That's his 3rd foul. That's probably the biggest story out of that. I'm surprised they're leaving him on the floor still. Barshin connects with the second. Coach Guillot, not a man to smile too often, but when he does, you know the team's doing something right. Baroka now advances that up over the half. Blatch sets the screen. Baroka, little right hand teardrop is good. Wonderful floater from Baroka. Mirzagaliev is double teamed as he tries to find some space inside. The ball is put deep down to Bykov. Bykov can't get it to roll though, and Blatch will pull down the rebound with 90 seconds left in this second quarter. Almost a great pass down the throat of the lane, but it's intercepted by Yagali. Yagali feeds it ahead to Barshin, but it's a little bit too far ahead and he can't hold on to it. Turnover ball, and the Philippines will get possession back. We're tied at 40 apiece here in Astana. The game is as close as we predicted. Horn's offense now for the Philippines. Fajardo rolls to the basket, takes the defenders with him. But Baroka unable to capitalize on that space. Clemens now with the ball as we have 1 minute remaining in this second quarter. Yagali to Barshin. Barshin inside now to Baikov. Wonderful pass, but Yagali unable to finish the lay-in. He was under pressure though from Lassiter. Lassiter now, step back three. Oh, drains it. What a big time to make a three. Wonderful play by Lassiter. He's up to 5 points, but more importantly for the Philippines, they've taken the 3-point lead. Timeout called. Under a minute to go here in the second quarter, and every possession is absolutely critical. Let's jump into these huddles and listen to the timeouts.
Sasha, come out, come in. Instead of Kola, you will be at the floor. You will play immediately.
And here's a replay there of the good ball movement from the Philippines that enabled Lassiter to have that wonderful little step back, draining the three, breaking the deadlock. The Philippines lead by 3. Under a minute to play in the second quarter, and it's amazing how important it is to be the team that has the lead when you enter the halftime locker room. It does give you a psychological boost to be halfway to job done. Yagali now for Kazakhstan to inbound the ball to Clemens. Important final 30 seconds coming up now for both teams. Clemens for 3! Off target. Fajardo flies through and pulls down the rebound for the Philippines, and they could extend their lead here. Shot clock's turned off. They're going to look to take the final shot of the quarter, and it wouldn't surprise you if it was Dallaston who took it. He's certainly known for being tough in the clutch. 4 seconds left now. Dallaston drives to the basket, tries to create space, uses the glass well. And what a great way for the Philippines to finish the first half. A 5-point streak to close out that first half. They go to the halftime locker room up by 5. Kazakhstan 40, Philippines 45. In what is a huge, huge game for Philippines in their plight to make it to the World Cup finals in China later this year. Here are your shooting statistics. As you can see, good shooting from the perimeter for the Philippines, 8 from 17. Good shooting from the line from Kazakhstan in at 70%. Rebounding battles pretty even at the moment. Neither team dominating the boards. Neither team will be overly upset with the turnovers, maybe a couple too many, but nothing too worrying. We've just been handed a great 20 minutes of basketball, and the stats back that up. But the most important stat of all for the Philippines is that at the halftime break, they lead this one by 5. A relatively slow start to the game for the Philippines, but they battled their way back into it, and they actually finished the first quarter with a 1-point lead. They've extended that further in the second quarter by winning the second quarter 23-19. They now sit at halftime with a 5-point lead. Kazakhstan 40, Philippines 45. But you really have to do an awful lot of credit to the big man there who has the assist in that play. Andre Blach has played 17 minutes. He's got himself 23 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals and a block. An efficiency rating of 27 in 17 minutes. And a very efficient performance as well, because he's shooting 62.5% from the perimeter. 5 from 8 from 3 for Andre Blach. And that really has done the damage. No other double-digit scorers for the Philippines outside of him. Looking across to Kazakhstan's box score now, and Clemens is leading their scoring. Played pretty much the entire first half. Scored 12 points, but he's got 5 assists as well. The only other player in double digits is Dmitry Gavrilov. He's got 10 points to his name in what has been a nip-and-tuck game in this first half. And we expect it to be very similar in the second half as well. Either team really could come away with the win. But remember, the Philippines pretty much do need the win if they're going to qualify for the World Cup finals in China later this year. For Kazakhstan, they can't quite make it. Their qualification chances have already ended. But that doesn't stop them wanting the win here. That would be a big win for them and a confidence booster for the future. That's for sure. But for the Philippines, a win is a real must. And they have 20 more minutes of work to be done at the halftime break. Kazakhstan 40, Philippines 45. Join me for all the second half action coming up shortly. Welcome back to Astana here in Kazakhstan for the second half of this World Cup qualifier between Kazakhstan and the Philippines. And we've had a great first 20 minutes of action. High scoring affair here. Kazakhstan trail by 5 though. Kazakhstan 40, Philippines 45. Remember how critical this is for the Philippines and their chances of making it to the World Cup final. This is the final game in qualification and it's coming down to this last 20 minutes. For Kazakhstan to qualify directly with an automatic qualification spot would require them to win here. For Philippines to qualify with an automatic qualification spot would require them to beat Kazakhstan here, but also for Japan to lose to Qatar. That game at the moment is 2 minutes into the second half, and Japan have a 20-point lead. 28 to Qatar, 48 to Japan. So it's looking like the Philippines will have to try and beat the best fourth-placed team in Asia. Now, if they win today, they're secured fourth place no matter what they do today, but how good their record is, they pretty much have to win today. If they lose, their record as best fourth place team is almost impossible for it to get them to the finals in China. So they have to win. On top of that, they pretty much need the Lebanon to lose as well. Now at the moment, the Lebanon are up by 4 at the half in their game. So many wrinkles and changes in the games will change the outcome for who makes it through to the World Cup finals in China. We will keep you up to date as the game here, as well as the other games, progress in this last day of qualification in Asia. And that man there, Andre Blach, had an absolute stellar first half here in Astana. 23 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals and a block. An efficiency rating of 27 in 17 minutes of action. The only concern he will have, though, is that he has 3 personal fouls chalked up against his name as well. That could play into the hands of the Kazakhstani team if they want to win this one. Remember, Kazakhstan can't qualify for the World Cup finals. That ended in the previous qualification window for them. However, they are certainly not a team that's going to back down. They're going to rise to every challenge, and they'd love to pick the win up here today to finish off their qualification. Coaching teams having final words with their players. Let's listen to Coach Korolianokis.
I will tell you later what we will play later. Let's go, guys. Hey, let's go. Stay. Okay, let's play next. Offense, 2 side. Next. Now play. 1, 2, 3. Now. Not fun. 2 side. Let's go.
Just clarifying their offense there on the Kazakhstani bench. And it's always good to see the collaboration between players and coaching staff. It's a two-way flow of communication, and the players are fully engaged in the quest of the coach to make them work harder and more efficient. And here we go, the start of the second half here in Astana. World Cup qualifier between Kazakhstan and the Philippines. At the moment, the Philippines hold a 5-point lead. Clemens now goes inside to Gavrilov, who kicks it back out. Kuanov, though, throws it away, and that's into the hands of Baroka. Floats up the right hand, which is off target. And Rosario is going to get called for the foul as he goes over the back of Zhigulin in an attempt to grab the offensive board. Quick first team foul of the quarter for Philippines, and that's going to see Rosario go to the bench and Aguilar come back in. No real surprise, that is his 4th foul. That's going to see him sitting down on the bench for a while now. Yagali. Gavrilov hands it on. Clemens now with the ball. Couple of quick dribbles inside, tries to find the pass. Probably been better taking the shot. It opened up enough for him. What impact will Blach have in this second half? If it's anywhere near the impact he had in the first half, it could be a long game for Kazakhstan. Zhigulin for miles out. Too much on it though, and Blach pulls down the long rebound. He's going to go straight at Gavrilov. and can't get the bucket to go, but does earn himself a trip to the line with a smile on his face. He is a handful for any team he goes up against. Blatch now at the line for 2 shots. See if he can add to his pretty impressive points tally already. He can with the first, up to 24 points personal now, and the Filipino lead is out to 6. Plenty of noise in the crowd. Trying to put Blatch off at the line. Hits the second, and there's a noise from the Filipino fans that have made the travel all the way to Astana to watch their team play. There were plenty in Qatar on Thursday as well. Shagulin hands it off to Gavrilov, who in turn moves it to the wing to Yagali. Down into the low block now to Shagulin. Blatch with another rebound. Number 8 for him. He's honing in on a double-double pretty early in this game. Norwood puts it into Aguilar. Aguilar will take the mid-range 2 and get it to go as he slides on the floor. It's a lovely shot from Aguilar. It's not one as a coach your overly comfortable players taking. It's a low reward for the risk. A little bit of confrontation now between the players on the floor, and at the moment we have Barocca just getting to his feet. Not too sure what happened. We'll need to see a replay to unpick this one. Push foul has been called on Clemens. I'm not sure he pushed him an awful lot. He did push away from him, so it is a foul, but I think Barocca made the most of it. Lassiter now uses the Blatch screen, but has the door closed on him. Back out to Blatch, fakes a 3, drives inside instead. And an easy 2 for Blatch. They do need to apply a bit more pressure on him than they have so far. He's had it all his own way in this game. And he's up to 27 points now. Gavrilov to the hoop, and another block for Blatch. And he is keeping the box score busy all on his own, Andre Blatch. Gavrilov goes to the bench, and here's the drive by Blatch. Shagulin hands it to Clemens. Clemens now shoots the 3! Off balance. He was trying to draw the contact and the foul. The officials didn't give the foul, but thankfully for Clemens, he drained the 3. Barocca back to Blatch. Blatch fakes the 3, drives inside, spin move, right hand blocked. It's going to send him to the line for 2 shots. Lovely spin move here. Change of direction, and good help defense by Shagulin though. There's the Clemens play as he tried to draw the foul. I can understand why he's asking for the foul. Barocca had his hand on his shoulder. Officials didn't seem to think it was enough contact though. Blatch now up to 28 points, 100% from the free throw line today so far. Absolutely unbelievable performance from him. I like that, 29 points now for Andre Blatch. This is his biggest, by far his biggest score of these qualifiers. Certainly saving the best till last. Kuanov now waits for the screen from Madakin. Back out now to Yagali, who's going to draw the foul off Norwood as he blasts past him. Second team foul of the quarter for the Philippines. And Clemens will get the ball on the side to inbound for Kazakhstan. It's a double-digit lead for the Philippines, and Kazakhstan will need to start chipping away at it. Yagali now. Ball comes back to Kuanov. Drives inside. Right hand is too heavy. And the rebound battle is going to be won by Kazakhstan as Shagulin gets it back to Clemens. Almost goes out of bounds with it, but regains control. Hesitation, drive in, step back jumper is off target. And the foul is going to be called on the floor on Baroka as he gets into a rebounding battle with Maedekin. Baroka standing 176, Maedekin standing 203. It's pretty obvious who's going to win that battle. Clemens now to Zhagulin. Hands it back to Clemens. Shot clock down to 8. Clemens inside, loses his footing somewhat behind the back pass. Wonderful vision there by Anthony Clemens. Finds Maedekin deep, deep, deep in the paint. And Maedekin obliges with the layup. Norwood now using the Blatch screen. Finds a cutting Aguilar, but it's stolen away by Clemens, and they're out in transition. But Clemens has thrown it away. Blatch with the interception to Aguilar, and he's fouled hard. And that one's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. That's the inexperience of Maedekin. Unnecessary foul. It's going to send Aguilar to the line for 2 shots. And going to give the Philippines possession as well. More opportunities for them to extend their lead. Update from the Japan game. Obviously, the Philippines would like Japan to lose that one. I hate to bring them bad news, but at the end of 3 quarters, they lead it by 30. Qatar 34, Japan 64. I think you could say that that one's pretty much almost done there. The other game that's of definite interest is Lebanon versus Korea. They want Lebanon to lose that one. And again, a bearer of bad news. A little over a minute left in the 3rd quarter there. And the Lebanon lead by 2. So still plenty of twists and turns in this qualification campaign. We'll have to wait and see at the moment. They're doing the job that they need to do here in Astana. They lead by 10, 6.5 minutes to play in the 3rd. Lassiter now. Back to Blatch. Blatch drives hard to the basket and manages to turn the corner. And once someone the size of Blatch is able to turn the corner and get the first step, it's always going to be difficult for the defender to get back into the play. 12-point lead now for the Philippines. Clemens back to Zhagulin. Into the low post, and it's stolen away by Lassiter. Very, very well read by Lassiter. Norwood catch and shoot for 3. Is off track. And Clemens grabs the rebound. Ugali hits the 3. Exactly what Kazakhstan needed. They need a little bit of a jump start on their offense. They've only scored 8 points in this 3rd quarter. It's lining up to be their lowest scoring quarter. Blatch now has it stolen away by Zhagulin. Lucky not to have an unsportsmanlike foul called. And 1 for Zhagulin. Stayed with the play to the end. Quick hands here. Gets out and runs. Lassiter tries to steal it away, but can only foul him. And Zhagulin will go to the line for the bonus. Both teams already in the team foul situation. Still got 5.5 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. The physical nature of the game is certainly starting to go up a few gears. Zhagulin converts the and 1 play. And he's up to 5 points now. He averages 10.2 a game in these qualifiers. So he's a little bit behind his average scoring. Blatch along the baseline. Another 2 for him. Believe it or not, he's up to 33 points now. Rebound by Lassiter. As we enter the final 5 minutes this 3rd quarter, Blatch puts up the 3. He's off target though. And they can't become too relaxed, the Philippines. An 8-point lead isn't much to be going on. Nice pass inside from Clemens, and it's knocked away by Blatch. Baikov can't hold on to it. Still going to be a Kazakhstani ball on the baseline though. as the Philippines go to the bench for the timeout. Sorry, for the timeout. That man Dallaston is coming to make an impact. He certainly can shoot the lights out, so we'll wait to see. He did it in Thursday's game just after the half break. Let's jump into Coach Giao's timeout. There's the and one play from Zhigulin, and here's the baseline drive by Blatch, and he's a wily old player, knows how to use his arms, uses his elbow there just to leverage his way along the baseline. Some players would get called for hooking, but Blatch is cunning enough to use his body perfectly within the rules. Inbound pass to Baikov is knocked away, but the foul's been called. I think that one's going to be chalked up to Aguilar. As Baikov goes to the line, 72% free throw shooter in the qualifiers so far. Had a great game in their first meeting between Kazakhstan and the Philippines. 20 points, 9 rebounds for Anton Baikov. Not having such a game here today, just 2 points and 1 board for him. Just under 11 minutes played of the game for Baikov, and Blatch with another rebound. That takes him to 9 rebounds now. He's edging close to that double-double. Into the low post as he goes against Zhigulin. Barrels his way to the basket, and the foul's going to be called. And that one's going to be chalked up to Zhigulin. Foul called, and Blatch heads to the line with an opportunity to add to his tally of 33. Hits the first, continues to be absolutely perfect from the line, 7 from 7. A very impressive performance for him, and the travelling fans from the Philippines have certainly enjoyed it. Can't get the second to go. That's his first missed free throw of the game. 9-point lead now for the Philippines as there's 4:17 left in this third quarter. Zhigulin with the ball on the perimeter, hands it off to Clemens. Clemens uses the screen set by Baikov. Now into Barshin, and Barshin goes strong to the basket, but can't make what was a simple layup there. Can't afford those kinds of mistakes. Castro now for the Philippines. Back out of Castro, doesn't take the shot, slows it down. Shot clock down to 7. Blatch now, offensive foul's going to be called, and that was inevitable that was going to come eventually. Blatch's play has been getting more and more aggressive, more direct. And that is the 4th foul on Andre Blatch as Zhigulin takes one for the team there. A shoulder in the chest. Substitution as Fajardo comes into the game, I imagine, for Blatch, as that's his 4th foul. Blatch heads to the bench. Ball is inbounded. Clemens now will take control. Gives it up to Zhigulin. How big will that 4th foul on Blatch be? How long will it keep him out of the game? Zhigulin for 3, hits the 3! Back-to-back big plays by Zhigulin. Takes the defensive charge and then drains the big 3. Philippines lead down to 6. Dallaston now. Nice crossover, buys himself a lane to the basket. Has to come back out to Castro though. Steps inside. It's always a difficult shot. Having to take on the move. Zhigulin fakes the three, goes high off the glass, but it's too hard. Offensive rebound pulled in by Barjin. Step back three, takes it. Short this time though, and Zhigulin's just maybe taking a little bit too much on his own shoulders. As the clock ticks down to 2:40 in this third quarter. Fajardo to the basket, nice and easy for him. It was all in the quick spin. Once he'd done that, he'd won himself the space to create. Clemens now goes to the basket, it's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. That foul is on Fajardo. Double change here for Kazakhstan as Yagali and Gavrilov come into the action, and Zhigalin, after a couple of big plays, earns himself a break, as does Anton Baikov. Clemens at the line for 2, misses his first attempt. Only shot 60% from the line in his first game in these qualifiers on Thursday. Graduated from Iowa back in 2016 and could be a really big piece of the puzzle for Kazakhstan going forward. Connects with the second of his free throws. He's up to 16 points personal now. Castro will advance it up over the half for the Philippines. Pagoy now tries to float it inside to Fajardo. It comes out to Castro with the catch and shoot, and he hits the 3. That's a big score. Settles some nerves and takes the Philippines back out to a double-digit lead. Yagali. No good for 3. Fajardo with another rebound. That's his third. Castro for another 3. Oh, big play! Jason Castro. Back-to-back threes has blown the game open. 13-point lead for the Philippines now. 1:38 left in the third quarter. No real surprise. Coach Kyrilenokis needs to call the timeout, needs to get back to the game plan for his team. Let's jump into his huddle and see what he's saying to the Kazakhstan team.
Hey, don't go under, guys. Don't go under. Just number 5. Pick and roll line. Two side. Corner. Sorry. Push. Set the screen. Gap, go out. In the same moment. Bruce. Yung mga big men natin, harapan nyo para makarecover yung guardia. Guys, yung guardia na nagpapasok lang natin. Let's go, boy, let's go!
Interesting to hear both timeouts there. Both teams talking to each other, saying don't go under. Talking about the screens, obviously, and the fact that they need to go over the top of the screens. If they go under the screen, it's giving up way too much space for the shooters. And that's what's cost them. Castro with back-to-back threes has extended the Philippines lead out to 13 now, as they look to close in on a huge win for them. Clemens now goes to the wing, comes back, draws the contact, no foul called, and it comes off Clemens' foot, so it's going to be a Filipino ball on the baseline. Young fan in the crowd, enjoying a bottle and a game. Aguilar now inbounds. It's some pressure being applied by Kuanov onto Castro. Let's see if the Kazakhstan team listen to instructions and go over the screen. Kuanov's going to get called for the foul, and that's going to send Castro to the line. It's a silly foul, really. They don't need to be giving the Philippines easy opportunities to score. They need to lock them down. Castro will go back to the line for 2 shots. He's a good free throw shooter as well. He's in the 70s for his free throw shooting. Connects with the first. Back to the line for the second, and this would extend the lead up to 15. And he does. Philippines are close to taking full control of this game now. Kazakhstan have got a lot of work to do. A critical minute and 10 left in this third quarter. Yergeli now comes back out. Long shot. Oh, he's good. Mirzagaliev. He's been a little bit quiet, but he's got that one to drop. Just 6 points on the night for Mirzagaliev. A big score for him, though. Fajardo barrels his way into the paint and is fouled. Wait to see who the officials call that one on. He was met by 2 Kazakhstan defenders. Always difficult to defend a player of the size of Fajardo, and here's the 3 from Mirzagaliev. And a sight for sore eyes for the Kazakhstan bench behind him. Reduced the Philippines lead down to 12. Fajardo opens that back up to 13, and you see the appreciating fans in the back of shot there. Means so much to the Filipino fans. Passionate crowd for basketball. Final 30 seconds now of this third quarter. Philippines lead by 13. Aikeli comes back out. Mirzagaliev for another 3. He's fouled though by Dallaston. He's going to make his way to the free throw line for 3 attempts. A good strong finish to the quarter is exactly what Kazakhstan needed. Hits the first. Just his first trip to the free throw line today. It's up to 7 points though, and Mirzagaliev, it's important for the Kazakhstan team that players like him start stepping up and scoring. He's played in all the qualifiers before this one. Misses the second though. Waiting at the line for his third attempt. And the Philippines lead is down to just 11 points now. Mirzagaliev up to 8 points personal. As Gavrilov heads to the bench. Castro now looking to try and get the final shot of the quarter for the Philippines and make sure it's a good one. Fajardo will come up and set the screen. They'll pick and roll down. Floats the pass. Oh, it was almost a huge alley-oop pass. Aguilar claiming that he was knocked out of the way and that it was a foul. Officials say no. 3 seconds left. 3 seconds left on the quarter clock. Yagali will come down to inbound. Just having to wait at the moment. A little bit of confusion on the floor at the moment. Ball is going to be inbounded. It goes long. Straight out of bounds. What a bad play that is. That's going to give the Filipinos the ball under the basket on the Kazakhstan end of the floor. Put too much on the inbound pass and it's gone straight out of bounds. Well, the Philippines will have another opportunity to extend their lead further before the end of the third quarter. It's inbounded to Aguilar. He spins. It's an air ball, though. And with next to no time on the clock, it will be a Kazakhstani ball on the baseline. 0.9 seconds. There's a chance of a catch and shoot. Doesn't even take the shot attempt. Just runs the clock out. And 3 quarters down here in Astana. Kazakhstan 60, Philippines 71. Remember, the Philippines really do need the win here if they want to keep their hopes of making it to the World Cup finals alive. After 30 minutes, they're almost there. Kazakhstan 60, Philippines 71. We'll be back with the final 10 minutes shortly.
World. The FIBA Basketball World Cup is right here. You want it? Come and get it.
Welcome back to Astana for the final 10 minutes of this World Cup qualifier. 30 minutes down and Kazakhstan trail by 11 against the Philippines. Kazakhstan 60, Philippines 71. Good three-point shooting from both teams. They're both above 40% from range. One of the biggest instances in that third quarter was Andre Blatch picking up his 4th foul. It's seen him have to spend quite a bit of time at the bench because he was continuing to dominate the game. He's got 34 points, 10 boards to his name. A 40 efficiency rating, unbelievable play from him. But you have a feeling they're going to keep him on the bench unless Kazakhstan can really get back into this game. Clemens with the behind-the-back pass there to Maidakim was one of the nice plays of that third quarter. Well, here we go, the final 10 minutes of FIBA World Cup qualifiers for both of these teams. It's been an almost 18-month-long journey to make it to the finals. For the Kazakhstan team, that dream's almost over. For the Filipino team, it's still alive. Fajardo, nice. Old school, back to the basket post move. He's up to 7 points personal, but more importantly, for the Philippines, their lead is out to 13. Nice pass to the corner. Mirzagaliev in and out. Fajardo with the rebound. 4th board of the night for him. Castro to feed Fajardo. Fajardo receives it, but he's used his dribble up, so he's going to have to come back out to Castro. Into Pagoy, who's not on target with that attempt from range. 1 minute gone now in this final quarter. Zhagulin hands it off to Yergeli. Yergeli drives inside, scoops the pass around. It ends up in the hands of Zhagulin. Can't get the 3 to go, and the awkward rebound fell into the hands of Fajardo. Castro now. Inside, off the glass, too heavy-handed, and Fajardo grabs another rebound. He's starting to dominate the boards on both ends. The move is no good in the post, but the collection from Pagoy is one of the smaller players on the floor, but it just shows it's more about the hustle than it is anything else. Clemens for 3. Oh, lovely shot from Clemens. That's brought the Philippines lead down to 12. His personal tally up to 19. Wait and see now for Castro. Into the corner, Pagoy. He's short with that attempt. Castro back to Pagoy, right hand is off track. But Fajardo scoops himself another rebound. He really is starting to dominate the boards. That's his 7th rebound of the game. Yergeli back to Zagulin. Zagulin trying to back his way to the basket, but he's going to come out against Aguilar. Try and shape up on him. And now he's just thrown it straight out of bounds as Gavrilov made a move that Zagulin was not expecting. And you have the feeling now that the Philippines are just starting to take control of this game. Ball now into the low post as Blatch comes back in. Lassiter nails the 3! Wonderful shot from the wing. And the Philippines lead creeps out further. 17 points now. Yergeli reverse layup, beautiful. But is it enough? Philippines will clock manage now to some degree as Barroca slows it down, hands it off to Aguilar. He'll come back out to Castro. To Lassiter. Lassiter shaping for another 3. It looked awkward. Didn't look like it was his usual shooting rhythm. Blatch now will back his way to the basket. Skip pass to Aguilar. Sideways shot isn't on target, but Blatch will just force the issue, as he always does. Makes it impossible not to put a body on him. And I think that foul's going to be called on Zagulin. Blatch will go to the line. As Aguilar takes a seat on the bench and Rosario comes back in. Rosario on 4 fouls. As is that man there, Andre Blatch. "35 points for Andre Blatch today. Certainly has taken his team on his back. And at the moment, he's almost carried them to the win. Still just over 6 minutes to play, though. Kazakhstan have a habit of not going away. Don't expect that to change today. Clemens moves it back out to Mirzagaliev. Shot clock down to 8. Mirzagaliev to Clemens for 3. Oh, it's a big shot by Clemens. He was chased out, but the defense wasn't enough to put him off. He's on 22 points. Philippines lead down to 14. Castro now as Philippines look to burn some clock. Blatch skips it to Lassiter, to Castro. Takes the 3 himself. Oh, that is a clutch shot by Jason Castro. Wonderful shot indeed. Takes real bravery to take the big shots in the big moments. Yergeli, he's short. Rebound's going to fall to Clemens, though. Back to Yergeli. To Clemens, he's open for 3. Oh, Clemens with another triple. And Kazakhstan refused to go away. 25 points now for Clemens. Remember, he scored 31 in his first game on Thursday. Will he beat that today? He's on track to at the moment. Barroca hands it back to Blatch. Blatch fakes the 3, drives inside behind the back, barrels his way to the basket again, and is fouled. This time it's going to be Maedekin. Blatch earning his points from the line now. It was the behind the back dribble that did it. It opened the lane up for him, and then the recovering help side defense was just a little bit slow to get there. Just a issue with the table at the moment that we're just getting corrected before we can come back into this one, as Blatch goes back to the line for his 2 shots. And result elsewhere that affects this game: Qatar 48, Japan 96. A huge win for Japan there. That is a big result for them. That qualifies them for the World Cup finals. They've taken one of the spots in this group. It also means that the Philippines will finish in 4th. It's just how well they finish in 4th. Will they pick up another win here today? Blatch is doing his best to make it happen. It's the second of his free throws. Gives him a total of 37 points now. Mirzagaliev feeds it to the corner. Zagulin can't get the triple to drop. And the Philippines will grab the rebound, and you have a feeling they're going to slow the game down a bit now. Don't expect them to take shots very early in the shot clock. Expect an awful lot of this, where they clear out and let Ondrej Blatch go to work. And the foul is going to be called on Barjin. Interested to see a replay of that. He looks like he'd made the stand, but officials call the foul and send Blatch to the line. Let's have a quick look. Does he? Oh, no, he is leaning. Good call by the officials there. He's not straight up. He's leaning to get the contact. Blatch to the line for 2 more. And he's very close indeed to breaking through the 40-point barrier now, Ondrej Blatch. 26.5 minutes played. He's 11 from 18 from the field. 11 rebounds, 37 points. That's a great shift of work for Ondrej Blatch. If the Philippines are to make it to the World Cup final, you expect Blatch to be a big part of what they do in China later this year. Connects with the first of his free throws. 85% from the line today. That really is a killer statistic when you're playing against someone that prolific from the line. There's really no way of stopping someone when they're in the form that Blatch is in today. Up to 39 points now, as Clemens brings it up over the half for Kazakhstan. Pass inside is stolen away by Blatch. And once again, you have a feeling they're just going to isolate on Blatch. He's going to go one-on-one against Gavrilov. They spread the floor as wide as they possibly can, the Philippines. As Blatch runs the clock down, takes the 3, comes up short, rebound into the hands of Jurgeli. Into Clemens, left hand off the glass is good for Clemens. And he's done all he can for Kazakhstan today. Up to 27 points now, Anthony Clemens, in just his 2nd game for the national team. Dallaston will slow it down for the Philippines now. Turns the corner, almost has it knocked away, holds on to it, back out to Blatch, shot clock down to 5. Lassiter trying to lose his man with the dribble, scoops it up. That's a really tough shot to make and can't get it to go. Gavrilov now moves it forward to Mirzagaliev, who finds Barjin. To Clemens. Clemens with an awkward little fake, has to throw it away though to Baroka. Behind him to Blatch. Blatch back to Baroka. Blatch with the offensive board and the score. That's Blatch through the 40-point mark now. 41 points, 11 boards for Ondrej Blatch. And the lead increases to 17 now. Surely it's too far for Kazakhstan to come back into this one. 2.5 minutes to go. It's a big ask for them now. Timeout called by Kazakhstan. Let's jump into the huddle. Okay, as the teams come back to the floor, we can give you a quick update on exactly where the qualification system is at the moment. So with Japan's win over Qatar, that's gained them qualification for the World Cup finals. What it's also done is meant that Iran have gained qualification as well. So that does leave the Philippines in 4th spot in Group F. And we're still to see if that's going to be enough for them to qualify. They need to be the best 4th place qualifier in Group F, and we're relying on results from other games for the Philippines to qualify now. They can do their job and win this one, but they need to wait for the results of other games to come in to know whether they've qualified. Still is not converted by Clemens. Frustration shouts to the ceiling of the arena. Final 2 minutes of the game now. 17-point lead for the Philippines. Kazakhstan are still chasing. Double teaming across. Dallaston now back to Blatch. They're not going to take a shot to the final 5 seconds. Dallaston catch and shoot for 3! Big play by Paul Dallaston. And that moves it to the high lead of the game for the Philippines. A 20-point lead now. Big performance by the Philippines as Mirza Galiev shoots the 3. Under a minute and a half to play. And the Philippines have done all that they can in this qualification window. They're likely to leave it 2 wins from 2 games. It's knocked out of bounds. It's still going to be a Filipino ball. But is it going to be enough for the Philippines to qualify for the finals? Ball inbounded to Baroka, and he gets it back from Dallaston. Dallaston now to Baroka. He'll shoot the long 3. It's off target, and Clemens pulls down the rebound. Outlets it, almost off track though. Oh, the 2-handed jam. That's nice for the fans in the stands. Gavrilov with the dunk. Ferdy Ravina is into the game for the first time tonight. 22-year-old is really a bright spark for the future of Filipino basketball. Dallaston for 3. He's short. Ferdy Ravina gets the offensive board though and slaps it back. 30 seconds left. About a 16-second differential shot got game clock. Pass to Ferdy Ravina. Can he score his first points? Nope. Traveling violation called on him. Kazakhstan will get possession back. Okay, we're just getting news through now. Other results from other games have gone the way of the Philippines. It looks like they actually have qualified for the World Cup finals. What a result for them. They're going to come and celebrate now. And it means so much, not just for the players on the floor, but the millions of basketball fans in the Philippines will be celebrating tonight. Their team have done mission impossible. Such a tough task, but they've done it. They're through to the World Cup finals in China later this year. The result here, Kazakhstan 75, Philippines 93. And with that result, they have earned their spot at the biggest show on the planet, the FIBA World Cup Finals in China. What a wonderful game and a wonderful way for the Philippines to qualify. And as you can see, they're pretty pumped. The news has reached them that that's them through. They qualify as the best 4th placed team in the Asia qualifiers. And plenty of celebrating will be done across the Philippines tonight. And now the focus for that team will turn to the end of August, beginning of September, when they'll be making their way to China. But for now, they have a right to celebrate. And I'm sure they're going to enjoy themselves today. There's your leading scorers. Blatch with 41 points. Clemens did a great job with 27. Blatch with his almost standard double-double now. 41 points and 14 rebounds. Filling up the box score across the board, though, Andre Blatch. He really did turn up and look like a man on a mission. And the Filipino team do owe him a debt of gratitude. Outside of those two, Gavrilov got 12 for Kazakhstan, Ugali with 11, Castro 15 for the Philippines, and Fajardo with 9. But it really was the two main men for the Philippines and Kazakhstan that got the bulk of the scoring done. Blatch 41 and Clemens 27. Wonderful basketball we've been treated to here in Astana. For Kazakhstan, though, they knew they couldn't qualify before today's game. They'll finish Group F in 5th place with 4 wins and 8 losses. The Philippines will finish in 4th place with 7 wins and 5 losses. That's enough, though. That makes them the best 4th place team in the Asia qualifiers and books them a spot at the World Cup finals later this year in China. It was a close game through most of it, to be completely honest with you. It was really only the second half when the Philippines were able to open the lead out considerably. It was a 1-point game at the end of the first quarter. It was just a 5-point game at the half. And then it was some strong defense in that final quarter from the Philippines, keeping Kazakhstan to just 15 points. That's enabled them to secure the 18-point win here. Kazakhstan 75, Philippines 93. But it's that man there, Andre Blatch, that's going to get all the plaudits, and rightfully so. 41 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, an efficiency rating of 49 in just 29 minutes of action. 50% from the perimeter, 86% from the free throw line. Just an absolute career high kind of game for Andre Blatch today. He was ably supported, though. Jason Castro chipped in with 15 points as well. And the team really did rally around to make sure they got the win. For Kazakhstan, they were led by Anthony Clemens. He had 27 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, just 1 assist away from that double-double, and 4 steals. He's had a great opening 2 games for Kazakhstan now. Thursday he scored 31, tonight he scored 27. He was supported by Gavrilov and Yergely. They're the only other 2 players in double digits. 12 points for Gavrilov, 11 points for Yergely. Yergely also had 6 boards and 4 assists, but it wasn't enough for Kazakhstan. They aren't able to come away with the win. The plaudits, the win, and the trip to China later this year goes to the Philippines. They are the 4th best placed team in the Asia qualifiers. That means that they have booked their spot at the FIBA 2019 World Cup Finals in China. And the final result we have here for you in Astana is Kazakhstan 75, Philippines 93. There's qualification confirmed. Australia, Japan, Iran and the Philippines make it through. Kazakhstan and Qatar miss out. Thanks for joining us here in Group F, the final game of Group F in these 2019 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Kazakhstan 75, Philippines 93. Philippines are on their way to the finals.